Welcome to Words of Wisdom from Kick-Ass Women.
Stories and advice about moving forward, punching through that glass ceiling, pushing harder, and blazing trails from women we really admire.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Words of Wisdom from Kick-Ass Women. I'm Liz Brohan.
And I'm Mary Olivieri, and today's show, okay, buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to talk about something every one of us is either obsessed over or struggled with or flat out avoided at some point in their lives.
That would be Mary.
That would be me, but it's love.
Love. Okay, we need to find it. We need to keep it. And maybe we even need to outsource it, right?
Absolutely you do.
Okay, outsourcing love. That is why our guest is here, right? And we're not talking about the dating sites, you know, those horrible nightmares that are the dating sites. We're talking about hearing from our guest, Lisa, about actually outsourcing it. Right, Liz?
Absolutely. So with us today is Lisa Goodman. She is a powerhouse matchmaker with the firm Selective Search Matchmaking. And she's a big VP there. She's been there quite a long time. So she's going to talk to us today about how all that works and what's going on with love out in the universe.
Welcome, Lisa.
Happy to have you here. Thank you, old friends. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Always a good day to talk about love, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I guess so.
Here we go, Mary.
Here we go. No, so let's start at the beginning. Okay. When we talk about a world of dating apps, why do people still need somebody like you with your great skill set? I'd love to hear more about that and like what that means.
Well, for anyone that's spent any kind of time on a dating app, that they will be quick to tell you exactly why. That it is a grind, that it is a bunch of nonsense and a little bit dangerous, you know, for women out there these days. How can you possibly feel good about going out on a date when you don't know a single thing about this person?
Right.
Maybe financially dangerous, maybe actually physically dangerous, right? So everybody just gets completely emotionally drained and exhausted after countless dates with the wrong people. It's a crapshoot. You know, it's just quantity over quality. And we
do the opposite.
You're going to do the opposite,
we do the
which is great.
Yeah,
so
it's efficient, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, it would represent an investment in love. Right?
What's an investment in yourself?
It's okay.
And
tell us more.
A lot of our clients have been married before. Maybe they have businesses of their own. Maybe they have families. So it's not just an investment in themselves, but it's an investment in their future and their family's future.
That's important to hear, too.
Right.
Yeah, because, I mean, we do a lot of outsourcing, don't we? I mean, I know people that actually pay others to pick up their dog's poop. Seriously. So when we think of
That's
outsourcing...
one. I have never used that in a pitch.
But I think it's worth it. I'd rather outsource my love life than anything else, right?
I'm not doing my own accounting, for goodness sakes. You know, that would never work out. And you outsource your legal work. You outsource even personal trainers or private chefs or, you know, whatever it may be. So it makes absolute sense. We think our clients are brilliant. Outsource your love life. Let us do it.
Right. And if you don't want to think about it as outsourcing, think about it as a really skillful mentor.
And friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
People will say to me during a call all the time, I just want to meet somebody the old-fashioned way. I just want a friend to set me up. I'm your friend.
There you go. You heard that to our listeners.
Yes.
You have a new friend here with Lisa.
Right.
And Selective Search.
Maybe a new best friend.
Right. Just comes in a different form. Right. You have to be open.
I love that. I love that. All right. So you want to talk a little bit about, like, I assume you have more women coming to you than men. Is there a...
No, that's not true.
No?
It's the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's twofold. We have more male clients, more male paying clients than we do female paying clients. And that's, you know, still a sign of the times. The men come to us with the money, blah, blah, blah. I hate to say it. We're all business women.
Yes.
And they seem to know, you know, that we exist from friend, whatever it may be. But we also have a passive way to be involved. And, you know, women who maybe don't have the money to invest can be in what we call a database, and it's very passive. And, you know, I wouldn't suggest that for maybe your listeners. You want to be the client. You want it to be all about you. But overall, there are more single women out there in the country, more women in that passive database, but more male paying clients. Women are catching up, though. They're finding us. They're saying, I don't want to just be passive about this. I want to be your client. I want you to find my person.
Right. Well, so for our fellow type A's out there,
yes.
Okay, for the fellow type A's,
yes.
lean into this. I mean, what have you got to lose? That's what I said.
Because actually, isn't that the elephant in the room? Aren't we all out there kind of whispering about how there are just no men out there?
No quality men.
Quality men.
No,
okay, tell us.
Yeah. Let's, Mary?
Lisa's outing me over here, but so there are men out there.
Sure, they're just elusive. They're hard to find. You know, they're busy with work. They've got their heads down. People are not chatting it up in line at Starbucks anymore. Everyone's just looking at their phones, busy with work, family, kids.
They're not putting themselves out there.
And friends aren't necessarily setting up their friends with anyone else. They don't want to get involved. So it's becoming harder and harder to find him.
I got
or
you.
him or her.
I got you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
especially him. It's a harder find.
Is the message, hey, you guys, man up? And when I say that, I mostly say it to my sons.
That's right. Yeah, the younger generation does have something to learn. You know, they need to start making some eye contact to approach women out in the wild, so to speak, and approach people at a bar or restaurant.
I have to tell you both, and I'm sure they won't listen to this.
Okay.
We're at a wedding this summer. I said, why don't you let me just kind of cruise through the room? I'll find a couple of nice young ladies. Maybe you could ask them to dance.
And
the next thing I knew, they had both left the reception and gone back to the hotel.
Oh, no.
They were in an Uber so fast.
Oh, no. Liz, my mother.
Oh, my gosh. That's
my
funny.
mother was trying to groom my sister and I, both in our 50s at the time, because we were going to the Elks Club for the $5 spaghetti supper because Betty is frugal. And she was like, you need to look nice. You don't know who you'll meet here. And you walked in there. I mean, every guy was in his 70s. They looked like they were about to be embalmed. I'm like, Ma, this is not, you're not my matchmaker. I need a Lisa.
That's right. That's right. Well, but there are numbers too, you know, and in New York, you know, I talk to a lot of young women in New York, and that's just an example, you know, a big metropolitan place. They call it the 80-20 rule. 80% of the women, the young women in New York, are all after that same 20% of that male population. You know, somebody that they deem as,
now
you
I'm
know,
depressed.
a catch. You got a guy, and you're.
I know. I'm worried
know
about the other kids.
The sons are a hot commodity. Get them out there.
See, so
you would think so.
But do you see? I'm interested in the how it happens as people age.
Yes.
And what happens to that pool?
Hey, love is love, and well, the older we get, you know, the population declines, of course, but. We have clients anywhere between the ages of 28 and 78, you know, maybe the occasional even older. It really just depends on the person and their love of life and, you know, that they're being proactive and that they prioritize long-term commitment. They loved being married. They loved having a partner. Maybe they're widowed. They know they've got 20 years left on the planet or more. They're hopeful, and they have the money to invest and the time to invest, and they know that they want to get it right. And they want to protect their confidentiality, and that means a lot, you know, to our clients as well, not to have their information out there on Match.com or something ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so you mentioned a couple things that pique our interest, right?
Okay.
So you've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
What's your kind of hit rate? How
successful?
Yeah, how successful is this?
Yeah, very.
Okay.
Well, the world of matchmaking is successful. What better way to find love than to have somebody hand-chosen and vetted for you before you ever even see his or her picture and profile? But Selective Search in itself is the most successful offline firm in the United States.
Way to go, girl.
Yeah, it's about an 87% success rate for people that become a client and then leave happy.
Well, I mean, it's in your name, right? It's about the selectivity, I imagine.
Of course.
We're all very selective,
Yes.
right? Who do we want to spend our time with, right?
It's not subtle search.
Yeah. It's not kind of okay search.
No. And people, they know what they want. And if they aren't quite sure, we help guide them through that process. They definitely know what they don't want because if they're divorced, they're laying out exactly what, probably went wrong the first time around. I can read between the lines pretty quickly on that.
Yeah, so that's interesting because we have our listeners, right? We're talking about being a kick-ass woman like you.
Yes.
You've devoted your life to bringing love to other people and bringing love to people together. Is there one thing that you do in your life or that you've seen work in your matchmaking that our listeners might tear a page out of that book? Like, is there a tip you have for them other than going to your organization?
Yeah, come to us, but then listen to us.
Listen.
Be open. Take the advice of your matchmaker, and we'll talk about some stories, but you have to get out of your own way. If we've got amazing matchmakers, lots of them, 13 plus matchmakers. And if they're telling you something or giving you feedback after a date or saying, you might want to go a little bit higher on your age range or let's get out of Tennessee, or whatever it is. Listen, they know better and have all the intuition and all the experience. So when you come in, of course, we listen to you and respect your wishes and your criteria and your preferences, but be open. That's my advice.
All right. Well, now we really need to hear one of your crazy stories.
I don't know if crazy is the right word, but just happy outcome and, things that maybe your listeners will take away like, oh, maybe I should open up a little bit. So, there are so many. There are thousands, really. We've put together over 4,000 couples.
Wow.
We're also responsible
That's
for over
cool.
560 babies. So
Oh my gosh.
it really
Wow.
is not just the 65-year-old divorced or widowed person that's coming to us. It's, busy professionals that are smart enough to outsource.
Yeah.
But back to your question, I remember one particular client, a male, outside of Wichita. If Wichita wasn't quiet enough, this man is outside of Wichita. And he's like, Lisa, I don't know if I don't even know if I should invest with you and join. Like, no one's coming to where I am. Who wants to come to West Kansas? And I was like, just bear with us. You're a great catch. I really, really enjoy everything about you. You're reasonable. I love what you offer. Let's see what happens. And so, sure enough, our matchmakers get to work and find this fabulous woman. And she's, big city, Kansas City or whatever. And she flat out said to the matchmaker, absolutely not.
Oh, no.
I am not meeting this man. What's the point? What is the point? And the matchmaker put her foot down and said, oh, yes, you are. He is absolutely somebody that you need to meet. Fast forward, they met, they fell in love.
Oh.
She moved to West Kansas, and they are married. And so
you're making a really good point because sometimes your first instinct is
yes. Yes.
And you're saying
we say ride it out, give somebody
away.
another chance. And that's another really important part about hiring a matchmaker and being with a matchmaker. You immediately have a third party in the relationship with you, your matchmaker. So, of course, we're not just sending people out on a date and letting them wing it. We are on the phone, pre-date, coaching. Post-date feedback is so crucial in the matchmaking world. So your matchmaker is calling you. How did it go, Liz? Tell me more. Well, he was super quiet. This is never going to work. Then she calls him. Oh, my God, I blew it. She was so beautiful. I froze. I was like blind. I had nothing to offer. And sure enough, we've seen those people go the distance as well.
Right,
So
but you can tell her that too. He thought you were amazing and just
of course we tell
floored
her.
him.
Yeah. And then they go out and it turns into a long-term thing where if you were just on your own and you've met on Bumble, swipes, you're never going to see each other again and you've missed out. And, you speak of the apps, that's a whole nother thing with the apps. It is an actual syndrome that the grass is always green.
Yep. Swipe.
So you could go out on a fabulous date. You get home from the date. Both of you are already back to looking for the next thing instead of laying roots in any one relationship, which is a shame. So
I
not
love
for
it.
us. It's good for us.
Yeah, good for us, right?
Yeah, good
I
for
love
Selective
the
Search.
idea. It is good for you
Yes.
guys. I do like the idea of that post-date conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So important.
I know, Liz, we were talking before we started this episode about telling love stories, right? And so I think I have my sister. She's my you for the most part. Doesn't always give the best advice, or probably does, and I absolutely ignore her because she's my sister, and what does she know? But I remember being on a date with the man I'm with right now, and he had puka beads on. It was our first date. And he got up. I know. And he got up to go to the bathroom, and I'm texting her. I said, this is not going to work. This is me. He's not going to work. He has puka beads on. She's like, just give him a chance, and that
Get a pair of scissors.
Yeah. She goes, buy him a different necklace, and he'll be have to wear it.
Yeah.
What does he know? He still wears his puka bead necklace. You know what? Because he loves his puka bead necklace.
It's a memory.
But it's 3 years later, and he knows that story now, that it nearly was one date and done because of that damn necklace. So, it's just funny what we do as people.
Right.
Well, that's so minuscule to reject a person on, right?
And now more than ever, people, the fact that people are getting pickier and giving people less of a chance, in a day and age when it's getting harder and harder to meet people, it's almost opposite of the way it should go.
Yeah.
Why do you think we became so picky?
Social media. That'd be one thing, just looking at greener grass and looking at other people's happy.
We see too much perfection all the time.
Even though it's not real.
It's not
Well, you
real.
said looking at other people's happy. Right. And so that's
perceived
perceived happiness. And so I want to say
Good
that
point.
to our listeners, and just it's a cautionary tale. And Liz and I are in marketing, which we use social all the time to get you to buy something or do something. But I think we all know now that social is a perceived happiness thing, but it does cause that desire, you know?
Yeah.
When you see the perfect family or you see somebody on a beautiful vacation. And I just want our listeners to know, to remind them that that's not real, right?
No, not at all.
And what you're doing is real because you talk about not the perfect man or the perfect woman. You talk about the perfect fit. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We say there's a lid for every pot. Not everybody's looking for the same thing. And honestly, somebody's trash might be somebody else's treasure. Just because he or she comes to us twice divorced does not mean that he's not your forever person. Yeah. So
Right.
there's somebody
a pot
for
can
everybody.
be tarnished slightly. Or it could have a bright,
scrub it up.
a bright copper bottom. Right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Puka shells around the teapot. Yeah.
Now we embrace the puka shells.
Yes,
I
of
bought
course.
him a puka shell bracelet when I was on vacation last
Well, here
weekend.
we go. Yeah.
Yeah, because he likes it. I mean, is it really going to kill the relation? I mean, I mock him because that's my nature. But you know what I mean? So, Liz, I want to hear, first of all, you yourself have love, correct?
I do. I do.
How did that come to pass?
That, it was kind of the old-fashioned way. And I know, as a matchmaker, I know that I was very lucky in this regard because friends are usually not looking out for each other's love lives, right? They don't want to get involved. They don't want it to fall apart. And then the next dinner party, somebody's getting left out or
something's awkward.
Awkward. But some close friends from long, long ago set us up.
Oh,
Well, actually,
nice.
I should say they set him up. I was just minding my own business, attending an event that I used to go to, and I did not know I was being set up. He did.
See, that's what I tried to do at the wedding, and it didn't
It didn't work for you. It worked for me.
I'm so
Jackpot
happy.
for me.
That's lovely.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. But I realized, that is not the norm. That people are not setting up one another. So we thank those people every year.
Yeah.
Well, my story is a little bit like what you were both talking about a minute ago about like, hey, just get over your darn self and get on with it.
Yeah.
Now, this is almost 30 years ago, right? And I was
Goodness gracious, I know him. That's
Good
crazy.
heavens, how about it? So I was an early adopter. I was on a matchmaking site, one of the very first ever.
Like AOL something.
No, it was called My One and Only.
Liz,
right?
was so hopeful.
Wow.
So we didn't swipe back then. There was no such swiping.
No.
We were scrolling. So I'm scrolling through and I come across this picture of this guy. And I know, listener, you can't see it, but he had his hand under his chin and he was wearing a turtleneck sweater. And he
That sounds like Olin Mills.
Yes, I think it was
80s.
Sears. I don't even think it was as high-end as Olin Mills. And that was my first thought was, that is so cheesy. And then the second thought was, he's the one.
Wow.
Weird.
And I got so scared of that second thought that I did not reach out to him. Guess what? The next day, he reached out to me.
You. Wow, it was meant to be.
And we were engaged in 6 months.
That I remember. Wow. Wow.
What? I didn't know that. This is Bob?
This is Bob.
Okay. All right. Bob,
Great
our
story.
palindrome husband over here. So
So I know you're telling us that it really is a good idea to look for some help when, trying to find love in your life. And I know that feeling of kind of waking up late in life and going,
Sure.
I need to find somebody to share my life with, because I was just kind of a workaholic.
Right.
How else can young women, our listeners, find quality men?
Right. Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to the be open, but also say yes. You're not going to meet anyone sitting at home, and now everyone's working from home. Maybe they used to go to a 5:30 happy hour in the city or, wherever they live. And, so that cuts down your odds of meeting somebody if you're just working away in your apartment and you never get out there. But we always say yes, be open. You can stick to your non-negotiables, of course, but don't have such a checkbox list because otherwise your guy's right or gal, is right on the outside of that list and you've missed him over and over and over because you're so rigid on these 10 things. And some people's lists are crazy. Have you seen The Materialists with Dakota Johnson, the new movie out where she is a matchmaker? Well, I recommend it just because there are, there's truth and fiction, right? And some of these people's lists, these clients' list just gets to be outrageous. And again, that is being very short-sighted and boxing yourself in and missing out on somebody.
have you found people willing to, I know personally, my list has changed over the years drastically.
Yeah. You're
Have you-
marinated. You're done. You're grown up.
I'm like, okay, I know what I need right now. I need
Yes.
somebody who can fix things.
Ah,
That's it.
Mary.
That's my only non-negotiable. You have to be able to fix my toilet.
I got that guy.
Well, yeah, I got that guy too.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Mine's the son of a plumber. So
You son of a plumber.
just call him.
Wow. It's saving us so much money.
But you look at it is saving us
Yeah.
money. If you look at the lists when somebody comes in, are they taking your advice? And like when you say, there's people who are very strident, right? For our listeners, how do you get one of your candidates, for lack of a better word, to make a list that's reasonable? Like how would you coach somebody listening? Like, yes, we're going to put down, everybody has the same thing on their lists most of the time. You got to have a lot of money and you've got to be this and you've got to be that.
That part's not necessarily true.
Really? Okay, say more about that.
No one qualifies it by like, he must be a billionaire, he must be a millionaire. Some people will say, I would hope that he would match my
income.
Success, my income. I don't want to be a nurse or a purse. I hear that all the time. And the men don't want gold diggers either. They don't just want some meal ticket girl that's getting a free meal every Friday night.
Right.
So to have us involved and vet all of that nonsense out is such a lifesaver, a money saver, a time saver, all of those things. I kind of make fun of people's criteria, via this movie, but people are reasonable enough, and I'd say their non-negotiables, their deal breakers usually fall in politics now.
Yep.
And that didn't used to be, not even 10 years ago. And now it is an absolute deal breaker. They're one way or the other. And, where that comes into play, we can always say, well, can they be a centrist? Can it be somebody independent? And then they'll say, oh, yeah, that's okay.
I gotcha.
Just no extreme either direction. So people can, kind of adjust when you open them up.
Gotcha.
Age range is always a big one, and women have a hard time with that. A 62-year-old, really active, pickle plane, she's got the Botox. I mean, you can't tell if a woman nowadays is 42 or 72. You can't tell. But the birth certificate still says 62 or 68. So they have to be reasonable.
Yeah.
it doesn't mean they can't meet somebody 60 or 59. I'm not saying that, but they have to be open to somebody slightly older too.
Yeah.
Because a 62-year-old man, it's not unheard of or unrealistic for them to date somebody 53, 54. I mean, that's fine.
I thought you were going to say 30. So good.
No. That's not. That's not our jam. That's not necessarily what we do.
Hear.
Yeah,
Says a woman in her 60s.
I mean, same, right? Same. So, so I think people are a little bit more reasonable, and then we have to work within the relocating part of this too.
Oh.
Our searches can be localized if it is a large enough market to do so.
Right.
But if we have
Outside
a
of
female
Wichita.
client in Tulsa, and she wants
to move to Tulsa.
Well, maybe she's liberal. It's like, well, lady,
In
he's
Tulsa,
not in Oklahoma.
You're going to be lonely.
It's a much broader search. So then where we come in and vet, can he relocate? Can you relocate? Is there a job that's, holding one of you to a certain spot? So all of those things are going into the search long before they would ever waste any time or money or energy on meeting.
Well, as long as we're talking about lists and criteria, maybe there's a way to kind of flip it around, because I'm a list person. I kind of live my life by to-do lists and all that. Maybe we tie it to gratitude instead. And, because we wake up in the morning and we think about what we're grateful for, and maybe we can just make a list of, I would be grateful to meet this kind of person.
I am completely going back and changing our whole intake process.
Excellent.
And
I'm
adding
a marketer.
those words. Yes, because I ask people hundreds of questions, and I'm going to start the sentence
I like that
with,
question.
What would you be grateful for? Yeah, that would be great.
See?
Yeah.
We can make it relevant for today. Yes.
Love it.
And then we don't have to give up our list.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, physicality is, of course, important to everybody. Almost everybody. Some people will say, look, his or her personality is way more important to me than, whether they have short or long hair, or whether they're, into weightlifting or not, or, whatever.
Is that
it may be.
even on both sides? Mm-hmm. When I say both sides, men and women are okay.
Yes.
That's
I'd
interesting.
say the top criteria. Everybody wants somebody that is interesting. That has something to share. They're just not sitting
But
around
that's
in
subjective,
yoga
isn't
pants.
it? Yeah, interesting is subjective. What you find interesting.
Everything is subjective,
Yeah.
Mary.
Right.
Everything is subjective.
I
That's
would love
why
the puka beads.
So, don't tell Bob.
No, everything is subjective. It just is all about getting to know the individual and then trusting us that we've been around 25 years and we know.
25 years. Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
It is. We're in our 25th year. It's something.
Obviously, they're
It's
doing something right.
Yes. No,
No doubt
absolutely,
about it.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what I like, and I'm just thought of this because it's on my refrigerator. It was a card my mother gave me.
Okay.
And it's a quote from Oscar Wilde that says, "Never love anybody who treats you like you're ordinary." And I think when it comes to love, right, and we look at our perfect fit, I personally think I want that person to know that I think that they are extraordinary. And I want to feel extraordinary in their presence, right? And so that is possible. It's possible. I mean, I'd like to believe it's possible.
Oh, absolutely.
that feeling,
to be adored.
Yeah, to be adored.
Absolutely.
Oscar Wilde was no dummy.
Oh, no, he was fabulous.
No, we feel the same. Everybody deserves to have good love. And if they've been married before, then they deserve an encore love. And a lot of what we do is we're not here to replace anybody if you've unfortunately been widowed, but to have that encore love, to have that second chance is fabulous.
Absolutely. This has been an extraordinary
There's a part
conversation.
two, right? We didn't even
have to have a part
touch on the surface.
Yeah, we haven't just
Right,
we've
right.
only just begun.
Right.
To use a Karen Carpenter
I
love
was just
song
about to be
reference.
like, okay, Karen.
Now we've really aged ourselves.
Well, it was bound to happen.
That's true.
Young at heart, that's all that matters. But, for our listeners, remember, listeners, whether you're swiping, dating, or outsourcing to a pro like Lisa, right? Look for the right fit, not the right person, correct? Look for that lid to your pot.
Yeah, not just Mr. Right here, right now.
Okay.
You know, it's digging in deeper. Yeah.
But the one thing I did want to just kind of touch on briefly, because Mary just kind of gave me a thought. We're not looking for people to complete us, right? Remember when we all said, you know, that we wanted to be completed?
The puzzle piece, the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, let's hope that that's an old-fashioned thought.
For sure.
Right?
You're in charge of your own happiness, right? You're
There you
not
go.
looking
Ooh,
for
I like that.
somebody
Yep.
else to make you happy. That's
It's not
a
gonna happen.
falsity.
Right.
Not in the least bit.
You have to bring a whole self to this, is what I imagine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's interesting too. I don't know if you want to save this for part 2, but we only work with people that are whole. You know, and we turn people away. You know, if he's coming to us and he just lost his wife a month ago and, you know, you can tell he's grieving or, you know, maybe he's not
ready.
Maybe he's not whole. But on the other hand, you know, you'll get a widower who's just cared for somebody for 5 years. And it really doesn't matter when they've passed because they are so ready to have love again.
Yeah.
So you can't judge something, you know, just by the timeliness, but it is the person ready?
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Ask yourselves that, listeners. Are you ready? What do you need to get ready? I do. I feel like there's a whole part 2 to this, don't you,
Little
Liz?
self-care part.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
the self-care
Absolutely.
part.
We have not even touched the whole story.
No.
So we'll kind of hit on the whole person
All right.
in our next exciting episode with Lisa Goodman.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
We really
can't
appreciate
either.
you being here. It was really fun to
Such a
talk
joy.
to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Love is
Anytime.
a great topic, even if Mary disagrees.
It's what it is.
I'm here to change her.
She's going to try to change. No, love is nice. Anyway, we want to thank our listeners for tuning in to Words of Wisdom from kick-ass women like Lisa, who I think is about to change my mind. And please remember to like, follow, listen, you know, all the calls to action we give you at the end of every podcast. Liz?
I would like to talk about one other person that we absolutely love, and that's our sponsor.
Like, where are we going with this?
What a segue, right? No, absolutely. We are so grateful. Talk about my gratitude list for the Motion Agency. They are the largest female, independently owned marketing communications firm in the Chicagoland area. Please check them out. We are definitely grateful to have them on board with kick-ass women like Lisa. Until next time, everybody, be kick-ass.
Oh, and, you know, lots of love.